Laser.
All right, we are underway. The big finals, the Thundercats taking on John Friends.
That's right. Here on Sunday Evening Cup Series, of course, it is the grand finals, like you mentioned. Winner goes home with $100. Loser goes home with nothing, sadly. But should be an exciting one. We just witnessed John Friends absolutely trounce QQ. Thundercats, a couple of people I know in this game, including Exiled, Smurf, Infect. I'm not sure who's I'm in the zone. I want to check who that is. Hold on.
I recognize Defect, I recognize Exiled, and I recognize the name Smurf. I don't know if it's the same people, but I don't know them, I just recognize them.
I have no idea who this person is.
Radiant team.
Oh, TK.
They're
okay,
just
TK.
ripping through the picks. Look at how fast things are going. They went through the bands. Elder Titan gone. Visage gone. Slark gone. Outward Destroyer gone. And they've already ripped through Crystal Maiden and Mirana, both coming out for Thundercats. Alchemist Clockwork for John Friends.
Yeah, that so I like John Friends a lot more than I like the Thundercats. I think they got the better picks here. But that's just me. I don't know about you, that's just me.
Well, we still got a lot of drafting left to go. John Friends obviously like their Clockwork. They picked him in the last game. Alchemist might have got banned.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they want to do also with their next bans here. Man, I'm telling you, and I tell this to everybody I co-cast with, but like if I could just pick if I could just skip the pick phase, I'd be so very happy. I'd rather just get right to the action. But yeah, it's me.
Dire team ban.
Well, not me. When I'm actually watching like top-notch Dota, you know, like Alliance versus Na'Vi, in the TI3 Grand Final.
10 seconds remaining.
The pick phase was just so entertaining.
5 seconds.
So entertaining.
Yeah.
It's a huge part of the game. Obviously, when the stakes aren't $1.7 million, you're how much you're invested into who's going to have the advantage going into the game is not going to be there. But
true.
The pick phase is an extremely important part of Dota, and it's very easy to get really involved in it, like the way it went down with Na'Vi versus Alliance. Like Na'Vi had cracked the code that nobody else could crack against Alliance. They a lot of teams would try to focus on Admiral Bulldog or focus on S4 or all these things, and it was Na'Vi that ended up figuring out that all they had to do was completely eliminate all of Aki's options. Like they essentially dedicated almost all of their bans, unless the situation presented itself to get rid of a Nature's Prophet or a Lone Druid for the situation that was coming up in the lineup between Na'Vi and Alliance. To get rid of Lone Druid's hero, or Admiral Bulldog's hero, rather. Other than that, they essentially 100% focused on Aki, maybe throwing an extra ban out for S4.
Yeah.
And that strategy right there made it a match when it came to the grand final. Na'Vi should have won.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And everybody knows that. It was Na'Vi kind of blew it. S4 made those huge plays on Puck to interrupt those TPs. If that never happened, Na'Vi was essentially walking to a victory and being the TI3 champions.
Yeah, it was one of the most tight moments that I can remember for Dota. I think just that series alone just made me appreciate the game so much more. And you're right, I sometimes bitch and moan about the pick phase, but when it comes down to it, it is fairly interesting because you can say who's going where. For example, in this draft, you see a Wind Ranger, you see a Mirana, you see a Crystal Maiden. You say, okay, CM's probably with the Mirana, the Wind Ranger may be offlane, could be mid, theoretically. You don't know who's going to go where else. Alchemist probably support, Clockwork offlane, Luna's going to be with the Alchin. Yeah, that's what we have for picks so far. And so far, standard stuff, except for maybe the Wind Ranger not so standard, but everything else is.
Yeah. It also gets a lot more entertaining when everybody knows every player on each team and knows every single player's hero skill set. Like, including the teams that are facing off against each other. Like, they can choose which heroes they want to target. They know what the other team's strengths are, what their own weaknesses are. And then all that drama plays out in the pick phase.
Radiant team.
But when nobody knows what John's friends, what each single player of John friends loves to play, which I'm sure there's lots of people that actually do know. Like I knew everybody that on GDT. I knew all of Remy's heroes. I knew all of Taku's heroes. I knew, Soji, Undying, whatever. I knew which heroes they wanted to play their game. And then you have to have a knowledge of the teams to give really quality analysis when it comes to a pick phase.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Because you see so many just they have such rhythm with their drafts. They always pick the sort of similar heroes. They go for similar styles. So you can easily theory craft and say, here's what's going on, here's what we think is going to happen, here's who's going where. They're going to pick this hero because they love playing it. Much like you'd see, in any team, really. As long as you have like some understanding of that team, you could say, okay, here's what they're going to go for. And you're absolutely right. And that also makes it interesting, too, to know like what they really value in terms of their lineup. Like, clearly, John friends, they value the Clockwork. They picked it second. They value the Alchemist. They value the supports and off lanes, like we saw in the last game. The Luna, they pick third. They value their carry. The Venomous, they're not as, hung up on supports as some other teams are. So, still, the draft is taking a bit longer than anticipated. The Storm Spirit gets banned, the last ban coming out from John friends, and then we'll round it all out with one last pick for both sides and get right into the grand finals here. And it should be a good one.
10 seconds remaining.
Is this better?
I don't know.
Don't do it.
Team pick.
I don't think it
Radiant team pick.
No.
All right, Shadow Fiend. Interesting pickup coming up from the Thundercats.
Yeah, we're gonna see 3 heroes. Well, yeah, 3 heroes or 4 heroes that we haven't seen once yet tonight. Windrunner. Now it's called Wind Ranger, apparently.
Oh.
Gay.
When did you change that?
Nature's Prophet, Shadow Fiend, and Luna. All heroes that we have yet to see roll out onto the field tonight.
And then the Death Prophet. Look at that. I think we saw that earlier. Yeah, that was the game that was only like 10 minutes long, though. So we'll see if it actually is a bit better this time around. I'm excited. This is a good lineup for both teams. All right. So,
my hair's getting curly.
Whose lineup do you like?
I personally like John Friend's lineup more. I think the Thundercats have the better split pushing lineup. They can bring that Nature's Prophet in early on, but John Friends have a better all-around lineup. They have early game aggression. They have later game aggression with the Luna. Death Prophet's going to be huge in the mid game. Yeah, they're fighting right around the 20-minute mark. That's when John Friends want to be the most effective, and they can be with all the damage they got. Luna will have at least some semblance of farm plus Eclipse, and then Thundercats they've got to deal with. So that's going to be a tough scenario, I think, for Thundercats. I personally like John Friend's lineup better.
I would have to agree. I like the way John Friends is set up for the 20, 30, 35-minute mark. They are set up for an extremely powerful mid-game.
Yeah, they really are.
Extremely powerful mid-game.
And it's like, how do you deal with that? I guess you could try to split push, but if you're split pushing, you're losing fights, you're having trouble. It's just going to be a rough time, I think, for TC. They have to get something going early on. They're going to have to get Smurf farm. And Smurf is quite the carry player. He can get farm. But it's going to be extraordinarily difficult because they're going to be ganking him pretty early on, I feel like.
I know.
Ganking who? I'm sorry, I got distracted.
No, that's okay. They need to gank Shadow Fiend, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. One of the easiest heroes to gank early on. I mean, it doesn't get easier to kill than a Shadow Fiend. Shadow Fiend, Sniper. Two of those heroes that, if you pick it, you're putting a bullseye on the back of whoever tries to play it. So, essentially, if you try and take heroes like that, the threat is just so high that you better protect them, or they better be so skilled. It's ridiculous. Especially when you consider that TC is putting their Shadow Fiend in their safe lane to try and farm. They're going to run a safe lane, tri-lane with a support Mirana, trying to protect the farm of the Shadow Fiend instead of putting him in the middle.
Yeah, I don't like that at all. I prefer to see him solo mid instead of the Wind Ranger. And they're doing offlane Nature's Prophet, which I've seen before. I mean, I guess they have to do with the way their lineup is, because Nature's Prophet jungle is not really viable anymore in the pro scene or in any real competitive Dota. But Bloody 9 here should have an okay matchup mid. So
Dumb and Dumber.
Oh.
I've been trying to watch this for months.
So
I'm watching the finals.
No, this is really important.
I'm aware.
Dumb and Dumber, it's quite a movie.
This is very
she's quite excited.
I am.
But so am I. I'm gonna go ahead and introduce John, friends. If you want to introduce TC after.
Go ahead.
All right, let's do it. Looking down on the bottom lane as they're skirmishing with this off-lane Nature's Prophet, doing his best Admiral Bulldog impression, taking on 1-on-3 on a tri-lane. We have Jaw is going to be playing that Venomancer. Of course, he played a much bigger role in the last game on the Doombringer. Keeping it ain't nothing. Keeping it G ain't nothing. Handling that Alchemist. And then Happy Cat going to run the hard carry on that Luna, going to do the one roll. Farming away, leading the game in CS and in Ice, 6-4. Going in the middle lane, we got Death Prophet. Bloody 9 is going to be facing off against against that Windrunner. And then to cap things off lane, Maphis on that Clockwork. He's going to have a better time up top against that Shadow Fiend and this jungling Mirana and Crystal Maiden than that Nature's Prophet is, I think.
Yeah, and that's one reason why Selen bought, of course, those boots of speed early on, and they could almost get that kill. If they had Lucian beam up again, they would have gotten it, but he has to go boots on that hero, and most Nature's Prophet do, like first, in order just to survive. Malphus is already level 2, he's getting farmed, and unlike the Nature's Prophet, who's sitting on 1 and has 0 CS, so that's really the key matchup here. Nature's Prophet can catch up, though. He can also TP to the jungle and just start farming at any point in the game. The bigger thing is who's going to carry harder, and Shadow Fiend can start getting up pretty early, but he still takes ramp-up time, much like Luna does. Eclipse is still more important, I think. All right, Battery Assault going. However, you can see the creeps are there, blocking a lot of that damage from Battery Assault. Raises up. Can he hit another one? He misses. Malphus lives. He's got a salve just to survive, and make sure he's thanking his bloody stars right now, because really, Smurf could have hit that last raise and killed him.
I'm looking at Nature's Prophet, and I'm seeing 2 stacks of Tango shared.
They changed it.
I thought you couldn't share Tangos anymore.
Yeah, that's the only way you can. You have to share one. It's only one Tango that you can share, one actual Tango, and it's on cooldown for 40 seconds after you use it, so you can't use the other shared one. Top lane, Smurf.
City.
Battery Assault, right-click damage is there. Can he get enough damage to kill him? That's the question. Smurf is going to go down to first blood.
Get out of here!
No way should that have happened. Wow.
1 versus 3. Look at that's what happens. You got Defect and Exile just getting so greedy, trying to farm their levels in that jungle, and they end up with no help. With no help, this Clockwork pops off the first blood on that Shadow Fiend. That is inexcusable.
It really is. That's just, but the presence of mind for Malphus to know that he can do that, to have the, just brass to do it. And now he's actually getting chased down. Shadow Razes are going to hit. He's very low, but he's got a bottle that'll regen him back up to about half. But they've actually sacked bottom lane. That's exactly what I talked about. The Nature's Prophet has went into the jungle. He's got a nice stack going for him, but he can't take that alone. That's going to be raised by the Shadow Fiend at some point in time. But they're going to lose their tier 1 tower bottom because of it. The fortification goes, but there's no other help coming through right now. And you can see this is just, it's going to be easy, it looks like, for John Friends to take this first tower.
Yeah, it's chopping it down, and down it goes. I just want to talk a little bit more about this top lane, though. I mean, I am really impressed with Maphis,
however you
want to call it. His performance in this off lane has been very. The impact that it's going to have on this game is huge. Just his going back into the lane and going so deep like that, he did it intentionally. It was just to force this Crystal Maiden and Mirana to come back and try and put pressure on him. And he has effectively did well in blocking the number of levels that they're able to scrape up. Although level 3 still ain't too bad.
No. And that is because they were greedy and they let Smurf die, so they farmed up while that happened. They'll take the bottom tier 2 tower. Wow, that's 2 towers in the span of like 2 minutes. Malphus, he was getting ganked. They decided to go mid with a smoke from Defect as well as Exiled. Unfortunately, didn't pan out, so Bloody 9 is safe. You can see Malphus is safe right now, and now you see rotations coming through from the Alchemist and from the Venomancer. They're both sitting on, Venomancer sitting on 1,300 gold. The Alch's at 857. They've got farm. They're going to smoke up. They're going to go mid, and they're going to try to find a kill here, and they very well may. I'm not sure, though. It's going to be tough. They're going to do this entire wraparound, I believe.
See what you drew there?
Yeah,
that's exactly what they're doing, and they're gonna dodge that sentry in mid. They're not gonna see it. This Windrunner is not gonna see it coming. Oh, but the Mirana, perfect timing, and where she's at, blows it up. She blows it up. Yeah, that's all he can do is just spit out a little cask. Good timing by the Mirana to show up there.
Yeah, that was interesting. How did they not have vision of that? That's strange.
If she had not stood there, that Windrunner was definitely dead.
How did they not see the Mirana, though? They have a ward up here on the high ground. I don't know what happened, but the Mirana somehow, unless you Moonlight Shadow, which she's not level 6, so I'm confused. Interesting. Well, either way, it doesn't necessarily matter. Malphus is going to try to fight. Cogs are going to go. He's already really low. He's going to hookshot in. He's going to get help from the Venomancer here. Exiled. Nice Sprout coming in as well to help out. They're going to get Malphus in a second. Jai's arrowed up. Now Exiled's still alive. He will fall in the end. That's a double kill, however, for the Shadow Fiend. An excellent way to turn things around.
Oh, well played. For a second there, I thought it was an absolute disaster for the Clockwork, and then I thought, oh my god, he's going to turn it, and then I thought, oh, it actually was an absolute disaster.
That's just how it goes for the Clockwork, sadly, but I mean, they still got a kill out of it. Obviously, you'd like more, and not to give a double kill to the carry, but it's fine either way. While this is all happening, Luna's down bottom, or excuse me, Death Prophet's down bottom, just farming away. Luna was mid, I think, farming as well. 400 gold in the bank, Ring of Aquila, and Power Treads, so...
I'm ready for reconciliation. That's Mark's birthday.
Alright, Alchemist up in the top lane, continuing to farm.
Radiant's middle tower is under
job.
attack.
Yes, thank you, Spitwad. That is always the optimal build. So, for all of you
who just did that?
Spitwad, he's our stats man for today.
Oh, sweet. How do you do that?
If you're in the broadcasting slot, you can hit F10, and it brings up stats.
You broke up.
If you hit F10, it brings up stats. Did you hear that? Hello?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Uh-oh. Am I dropping frames? Nope, I'm good. There you go.
That is awesome.
Baby.
You know, when he's in Ace Ventura and he's coming out of the fucking...
Dire's middle tower
Oh,
is
here
under
he goes. There he goes. Shadow Fiend gonna go farm. He's gonna go farm that big stack over there. He's gonna pull it. Look at it. Oh, he's gonna be a man baby and do it. Oh, Nature's Prophet just got exploded. Something fierce. The right click coming back from the Shadow Fiend, killing that Alchemist. Why are all those people there? I don't understand.
Oh, Happy Cat. Oh, the raises. Then there's going to be a hookshot coming in to follow it up. Malphus is trying to flare to push them all back. Bloody 9 silencing up. His exorcism is still going. It looks like they don't want to fight anymore. Malphus is out of his hookshot. He has no flare. He's got battery, so he wants to try to get Defect. He has Leap, though, so go on the Crystal Maiden instead. And Battery's still not catching him, but the Unstable Concoction will arrow up on the Alchemist. Not that that really matters. I don't know if they're going to chase this any further. Nice power shot coming through, but... Nice Cox to push them all back. TP coming in this time from the Nature's Prophet. Sprout is up. Chemical Rage not available. Not level 6 just yet. Here comes the Shadow Fiend. Crypt Storm again. Still alive is that Alchemist. Wind Run. Unstable Concoction being charged. He wants to try to throw it and will. Doing some damage to the Wind Ranger. Malphus. Oh, battery salt's available. Power shot went. Didn't hit. There's going to be the Lucid Beam to clean it all up. And a long drawn out fight going for John Friends once again.
Interesting. John Friends having a moment of hardcore aggression there at the 9-minute mark into this game, when essentially that have a pretty significant laning advantage before they decided to, like, they migrated the Luna all the way from her safe farming lane, along with her support, to go up there and engage that. And I guess it worked out decent for them, but I feel like that was a risk that they didn't necessarily need to take. They were already in a great position.
Yeah, they could have kept farming for the Luna and just gotten a BKB or something, but I like the fact that they're using that Eclipse early on to be aggressive. So, in the mid lane, they're pinging on Bloody 9. Looks like there's a gang train potentially coming. Arrow is going to fly, and nowhere near the mark, actually, because Bloody 9 decided to head out of there. You do have to be careful for the Shadow Fiend, however. It could be a bit troublesome as he continues to farm away, trying to get to that BKB. Raise.
That's what he does. Farming it up. He's sitting at about 4K gold net worth. He's the tops for the Dire side. Tops for the entire game is going to be that Death Prophet sitting at about 5K. Venomancer picking up a kill on the Wind Ranger. What the hell is that? When did they change that to Wind Ranger and why?
A couple months, no, like a month or two ago.
I have to wait till after.
Unstable's flying. Oh, poor defect. They need vision. Oh, the leap away! No, the stun! PPD! So close to getting that kill.
Oh, just look at this aggression coming out from John Friends. They are... they got a great lineup for this. I was expecting this, but I just wasn't expecting it at like 9 minutes into the game. I thought that they would, you know, farm, secure their advantage until the 17 or 18 minute mark, which they easily had or have, and then press that advantage then. But they are being very aggressive very early.
Yeah, I like that out of them. I feel like they need to kind of press this advantage because they have that early teamfight potential, mid-game potential. So they take another tier 1 tower. They don't lose anything. They're going to go ahead and grab an Illusion Rune for the Clockwork, who's just been firing on all cylinders. And with that, they're going to try to maybe look for either another tower, a smoke gank, a pick off, or just to keep farming. And the Luna can. Happy Cat is sitting on decent farm, but not what you would expect with how much he's been involved in these team fights. His BKB isn't quite there yet. He's only got one component of it. And so for now, we play the farming game until, you know, John Friends want to try to push again. And they have the Exorcism in 30 seconds, so...
It's looking good. It's looking good. They do effectively. One thing that I never really hear people ever really talk about is, you know, you never not want to kill a tier 1 tower, right?
Yeah.
There's, like, it's never not worth it to kill a tier 1 tower, but like, in my greedy pubbing of a game, there's some games where if I'm on the short lane on a hard carry and I got a free farm in a lane, I think to myself, please don't come push this tier 1 tower because I just want to be able to continually recycle and stay safe around the river.
Right.
Like, once you kill that tier 1 tower, those lanes will push back as Venomancer picks up yet another kill in middle. And there was almost 2 kills on the bottom lane that Nature's Prophet just barely got out of there with his life. And then Wind Ranger also was extremely low. Oh! She tries to get aggressive and pick off that Luna.
No luck there, though, sadly. And, well, these towers are just falling extraordinarily. That's a 13-minute Midas, man. That's, I don't know about that. That's not really going to help you in this scenario. Yeah.
Just extreme aggression coming out from John Friends, and they're not letting up. They're just not going to let up. I wasn't really expecting it to be this heavy, this early.
Yeah, and this is just the playstyle. In fact, 6.79 has been all of this. And the reason I don't like that Midas is, like you said, it's just extreme aggression. You can't combat extreme aggression with the Hand of Midas, unfortunately. In fact, it doesn't really help. They do pick up a nice kill on the Venomancer. Ja getting caught out of position there, so at least they get something out of that. They're pushing the tier 1 tower mid. And it looks like they're going to let it go, surprisingly. So Ja's giving them room to wiggle where they really shouldn't be any room at all. But Malphus says, all right, I'm gonna pick up something here at least. And Unstable is going to fly. Malphus is going to cog right in there.
Oh, beautiful cogs.
Yep. Oh, here comes the ult, though. Malphus taking the brunt of it. He is going to fall. so quickly, and he just got caught out of position. Moonlight Shadow's going. Bloody Knight has double damage, getting blocked. He knows that the Wind Ranger is there. He's pinging on it. There's the right clicks coming through. Wind Ranger uses that Wind Run to get away. Well,
how did that ult get off with battery assault?
Actually, I think it was on before he cogged up, and then it just went off, and then he had room to use the ultimate there, I suppose. That's the only way I can think about it. So, unless he had BKB, which I don't think he did at the time.
Oh, turning into a good game. This is turning into a good final. 8-6 now is the kill to death ratio, still in favor of John Friends. If we look at the XP graph, what once was almost pushing to a 4K gold lead is now down to 1K, and the experience lead. I'm sorry, the gold lead was up to 7,500, and now it has dropped back down to the 3K mark. So this early aggression, again, it paid off a little bit, but now the pendulum is swinging back against them. And the timing is terrible, because we're coming right up on the that phase of the game, 18 minutes, 20-minute mark, which is essentially when John Friend's lineup is supposed to shine. And instead of setting themselves up to really dominate in this phase of the game, there's a little pushback coming.
Yeah, but at least they do pick up that kill on the Wind Ranger. They have to use the Exorcism for it. Not necessarily worth it, and you're right. The timing is there for John Friends, and they want that BKB on Happy Cat, which is already done for Smurf. So that's one of the reasons why they're not pushing in and not being aggressive, is because they have to really deal with Smurf on that BKB, and they don't want to fight 5-man yet until Luna gets at least some semblance of farm. So for now, we'll just keep playing the farming game until John Friends either gets initiated on or decides that they're done farming without Luna.
Then he'll have Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. So it alternates.
Nice. Got him, Spit.
We alternate just weekdays and weekends. Yeah. It's very consistent though.
Well, get to you on further.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even know I'm not.
You don't have to apologize, it's fine.
I didn't do it.
Well.
So, they're going to farm the Sage Sec here.
Yeah, I just caught that ancient stack, Happy Cat, trying to pile up that Luma, which is a pretty common thing to stack a bunch of ancients to farm up your Luna, hardcore. She's a little bit behind the curve. She's only got 6,500 net worth,
So yeah,
as compared to the 7,800 of the Shadow Fiend. But of course, number one in the game is going to be Bloody Nine on this Death Prophet, which got named. It's not Crobulus anymore. It's some other stupid fucking name.
No, she's still Crobulus, but they just use her title as Death Prophet, I think.
I'm gonna talk very quiet.
But
Yeah,
well.
I thought they changed the name to something else.
No, they didn't. A lot of the names they took over from Warcraft 3, there was you remember in Warcraft 3 was the hero name and then there was the title. A lot of the time they took the title. Sometimes they use things like Sven, who was the Rogue Knight. They just used Sven instead of the Rogue Knight. And then Clockwork was Rattletrap, but they just used Clockwork instead. So I don't know. It's weird how they did it. For some they chose the names, for some they chose the titles. You get what I'm saying here? I don't know.
Well, 9-6. Let's take a look at the graphs. Yeah, still hanging right around 1,500 on the experience, and then hovering right at around 3,500, $4,000 on the gold. So we're hitting a plateau, which it bodes well for John Friends, in my opinion.
If she doesn't eat breakfast here, she can eat breakfast.
Yeah, I mean, what the thing is though, that like you said, this is kind of their timing. BKB is up on Luna now, and now they're just giving more farm to Smurf that he really doesn't need to get. He's actually up to a Helm of the Dominator, and he's going to be the one to carry this game. This is going to get closer than it should. Meanwhile, Defect gets caught out. He's got an urn on him. He actually may die. Yeah, Cripstorm will do that. Shackle shot. Wow.
Why did he starfall?
That was a little bit of a misplay. Meanwhile, top lane, Luna gets caught out of position. That is a huge pickup for TC, the Thundercats. And we're actually going to see now a push coming in. This is going to be a free tier 2 tower. They can ford it. They can try to defend it, but there's no way. They have to all TP in, and by that time, the tower is already gone. Unstable's going to fly on I'm in the zone. There's the hook shot in. They're going to grab this Wind Ranger, it looks like, but they're losing their tier 2 top as well. So Wind Ranger falls. They TP back home. They want to try to defend this. There might be an engagement. The Exorcism is still there. There's the Crypt Swarm. There's the Venom Scale. There's the Poison Nova. All of the abilities being used. TP coming away. It won't be in time. Smurf needs to back off. He's got a BKB. Sprout, TP as well. Can he silence it? 4-step forward. There's the Ward on the ground. TP. Can they do anything to stop it? They cannot. But they still defend their tier 2 tower just in time.
A lot of shit going on. We just crossed over the 20-minute mark. 12-7. Again, just good decisions from John Friends. Like, the timing was perfect. Instead of panicking after the kill on the Luna to go set up for that setup shop to defend their tier 2, instead they get aggressive right behind the tier 2 tower mid for TC, and they find that Windrunner and pick her off. It's I'm liking what I'm seeing from John Friends. Just good decisions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they're firing. No, I'm not going to say it again. There's going to be. Oh no, Malthus gets caught way out of position. The arrow just came right through and took him down rather easily. Speaking of getting taken down, Happy Cat's going to fall on top of that. So 2 easy kills going for TC when I don't know what they were doing there, John Friends. That was a bit of a misplay, I think.
Yeah. Knock on wood. Maybe I cursed him by giving him props like that. But like right after I said that, two heroes get caught overextended bottom lane. Absolute disaster, and then of course resulting in this Roshan, who's dropping. He's melting. That's that Shadow Fiend aura.
Oh yeah. This freaking Presence of the Dark Lord is so damn good. Armor reduction there. He's gonna fall. And there's nothing that the rating team can do about it. They decide not to contest. They didn't have their Luna. They didn't have another hero as well. I think it was the Clockwork who got caught out of position. So now it becomes a kind of, well, we didn't put off enough aggression here. Can we carry late enough against the Shadow Fiend with a Luna in the game? That's the question, really.
A good question, but my mind suddenly, just one small thing like that, and that's the nature of a lineup like John Friends picked. Like when you have a lineup that's so. Hold on 1 second.
Well, we'll wait for him to come back. Bloody Nine's up in the top lane with Exorcism, Crypt Swarm.
Okay, so you got a lineup like John Friends picked, where it's so dependent on mid-game domination, right? It's like they have a window. And if suddenly you hit that window and then you don't start hitting the nails on the head in every area that you need to, all of a sudden the game starts to slip away from you, and I feel like that has started to happen. I feel like the game might be starting to slip away from them. Against the Shadow Fiend, against the Nature's Prophet, the Shadow Fiend and the Nature's Prophet are both getting their farm. You also have a Mirana in the mix whose farm isn't horrible. It's not good. Well, actually, yeah, it's pretty terrible. But the Windrunner is closing in on 7k. She's got her 4 staff. She's picked herself up another staff of Wizardry. Oh, she's going to go Dagon.
Well, that's bold. That's quite bold on a Wind Ranger. I like it on a lot of heroes, not really on the Wind Ranger, but I don't know. It's an item that's going to help them out in turn fights around because nobody's really got a BKB except for the Luna now. So magic isn't really that big of an issue, magic immunity and magic resistance. And we talked about the Nature's Prophet. You mentioned he's getting farmed. He's got his Midas now. There was a point where when he picked that Midas up, you have, like you said, a 2 to 3 minute window where you really can't do much because you picked up the Midas. And that's really when I think JNF should have started putting the pressure on. And that didn't really happen. They kind of forced a 1 or 2 towers going down. They maybe got 1 or 2 kills, but no big team fights. They weren't able to take Roshan. And now they're looking on the end of, they still have a 5,000 gold lead and a 2,000 experience lead, but that is going to become less and less important as the game moves on. So, down to the bottom lane.
Yeah. Just caught it at the last second. Mirana going down. That's a great pickup. Nice job by Maphis isolating that for that Mirana. And again, could be an extremely important hero for this dire team. The Mirana is one of their semi-carries that they're kind of dependent on being a late game force that helps them push them over the top against, a Luna, an Alchemist, a Crobulus.
Right.
And she is not going to be there to deliver come the 35-40 minute mark. Look at that. He's got 4k gold worth of items. We have a Marana that's sitting there with power treads, a drums of endurance, and a magic wand, and that is it. There is no gold.
Wow, Bloody Nine is going in right now. Shackle Shot going. Salen doing a lot of damage. 3 heroes combining up to grab the Death Prophet. She does have a Blown Stone, so respawn time's not that bad. Arrow flies through. Nice dodge coming out from PPD. He's looking to try to initiate. He has that Force Staff. No Medallion. Acid Spray seems to do enough there. He'll take down that Necro Warrior and back off, dealing some damage to him. Top lane, you can see Smurf is trying to at least push this. He'll realize that everyone's backing off and he might not be safe anymore and decides to head out.
He is a right... Oh my goodness!
What happened?
No, there's no.
Smurf is a right-click monster. Look at that dude. He's got himself a Chrysalis. What are we looking at? Pushing 300 damage already this early in the game. I totally just lost half my drink into my lap just now.
I'm so sorry.
Oh. Yeah, you hate to see it. It's okay though. You can join me drinkless if you'd like.
It's okay.
No, that's all right. I'm okay.
No, that doesn't
with,
suit you?
my situation.
Okay.
And I'm also okay with getting my lap totally pawed by a hot
So
babe.
sorry.
I'm all right with that.
Oh, look at you, man.
Yeah, just cleaned me up real good.
I'm sure he likes to old girlfriends.
Smoke Gank,
Yeah.
top lane.
I'm sorry. I
No
didn't mean to do
complaining
that.
going on here.
Oh, Ja, buddy.
Yeah, we got a smoke gang coming in. Smurf and in the zone coming in from under. Jaw just got frozen. Yeah. Oh, you are so screwed. They have invested everything into killing you, and you turn the table. Why did they leave? Ah, their spider sense tingled. They knew. There's a Luna and a Clockwork coming in from below. Defect is barely going to be able to sneak away. Is he going to TP out?
Yeah, he's going to be fine. They can't catch him now. And Hookshot wasn't on point. They can't catch the Wind Ranger either. So, and now you look at Smurf. He's pushing the mid end. He's taking a tier 1 tower for Salen. He's trying to man up against PPD. PPD has to run now. He's taking too much damage too quickly. And that's just from, I don't even think Salen has that much right click other than the Necro book, which of course comes from his minions. A quick pause from Luna, and they'll try to reorganize themselves.
Yeah, well, we're 27 minutes into the game. He's got his Necrobrook 3, he's got his Phase Boots, Midas, and a Mithril Hammer that I'm assuming that he's going to turn into a Stygian, right?
Yes.
I mean, what are your options? You got a Stygian, you got that lightning bolt thing, Maelstrom, yeah, or of course a BKB, but I so rarely see an Ancient's Prophet get a BKB that early.
Yeah, you're right. It's going to be a Desolator. I'd be very surprised to see anything else. We have a bit of a pause here. I don't know what's going on right now, but the game is actually pretty close when you think about it. It's still
Yeah,
like,
this is by far the best game that we've seen tonight. By far.
absolutely. And it's only going to get better, I feel like, as we reach the climax of the game at 26 minutes in. We're still not there yet. Happy Cat's farming away, trying to get something going, but Smurf is the real key here. Bloody Nine has the highest net worth, but he's in a Death Prophet, so he might fall off soon unless he gets something like a Heart of Tarask. And Smurf is going to be doing the damage. Like you mentioned, he's got that Chrysalis, he's got damage, he's got the Helm of the Dominator. His presence of the Dark Lord plus his Necromastery stacks mean a lot of damage, like a lot. And he could easily take down PPD if he needs to. There's the Nature's Wrath going through. No initiating potential from the Shadow Fiend. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger or anything like that. So Nevermore not really doing a whole lot, trying to get that kill. He just wants to go and farm. And once again, we go back to the farm game. No crazy kills happening just yet. They had an Aegis. I don't know if they used it already, where it went. It looks like they used it already.
I like that style of Shadow Fiend, especially for this game. When you get that Blink Dagger and then you get that Shadow Blade or whatever the case may be, then the mentality of the Shadow Fiend player as they play it is to try and sneak in and get their ult. But when you don't give yourself that option, your mentality changes completely in how you approach fights. Like you never try to go in deep. You never try to get that big ult. It's more you just react to the situation and you just try and be, get your right clicks dipping in and out.
No, you're right.
It can be more. It can be more effective.
It is, because the amount of damage you do when you're farmed like that is ridiculous. And he's actually getting chased. He'll BKB and TP away, so no way they can stop him from getting out of there. And just a smart play. Obviously, a BKB charge, you don't want to waste the 10-second one, but he has to. And so now down to 9 seconds. So we'll see them probably just have to wait until that's up before they do anything aggressive here. Oh, and lane. Frostbite, Freezing Field, PPD. He's got his Chemical Rage up, so regen is not an issue. He gets sprouted. Right clicks are there. He's taking a lot of damage. He's going to fall. Shackle Shot after the fact, but here comes Ja. He goes right in on everybody. He's going to go Scepter now and just try to stay alive. He's Frostbitten, Malphus, Hookshot not available. He's got no mana left. The mana burn from the Necro Creeps is too much. Right clicks coming from Happy Cat. Buybacks are happening. PPD is back in the game right now. Bloody Knight, Shiva's Guard. Now Smurf cancels his ultimate. Nice play there, but he's slowed up. Will anybody chase this? And it looks like no.
It's a good play. Well done by the Nature's Prophet. Get an advantage. Just perfect timing to come in, get that sprout, get those little right clicks in. Those right clicks are they're impressive for essentially at the time, all he had was those 2 Mithril Hammers, and they just melted the hit points of that Alchemist, although I don't think he had his Chemical Rage up. Now he pops it.
Look at him, mixing things on his back. Freaking Alchemist. He's just sitting here.
Yeah, he popped it just to sit there. What the hell is he doing?
I don't know. That's PPD for it. Satanic is now done for the Shadow Fiend, and that's actually ridiculous to think about. I don't know. Now John and friends are really in trouble here, because you look at Luna's items, and she's trying to go for the same thing. Wow. This could be a man fight between carries, really.
Well, until it starts to get into my maxed out carry against your maxed out carry, my money's on the Shadow Fiend. Smurf is just so farmed. 14,000 gold, but this Nature's Prophet is right there with him. Another 14k there. And then the Crobulus is keeping pace. She's got herself a 1k gold advantage sitting at 15,000. But, you know, when it comes to hardcore carry potential, a Crob just does not measure up. She's just an ultimate and a tank, essentially.
Yeah, if you can pick her off, even while that ultimate is going, you're in a good scenario. They're going to run mid right now. They can't fight into it. They've got to wait for Exorcism. And with that, they'll wait to push into the tier 3. They take the Aegis at least. Nature's Prophet is split pushing top, and he'll try to, you know, get some TPs rotated to this tower. He can actually maybe take this tower. They have a fortification. They are going to use it. They've decided that much. TP's now coming in. Nature's Prophet is going to TP away, but these Necro Creeps will finish this tower. It looks like he gets the last hit. Now he decides to say, Salen, he will leave. What a play. He gets in, he gets out just like that. Loses nothing in the process.
Yeah, might have, maybe should have TP'd with this scroll the first time, but in the end he ended up having to use this TP scroll anyway, so no harm done. But if there was somebody else that followed up that actually had a stun that could have interrupted him, that could have been bad for him.
Absolutely. And the thing is, though, they wasted the fortification, which is so good. Luna finishes up her Satanic. That's a big item, obviously. We saw it on Smurf. We see it on Luna now. And Bloody Knight actually has a Yule Scepter of Divinity coming very soon as well. It just needs the Void Stone. So items are starting to flow fast and furious. I don't see any signs of stopping here. There should be a big fight, at least somewhat soon, down bottom. Yeah, well, shut up, Ryu. Salen going to take an arrow to the face, or excuse me, Malphus is. He's going to take a right click and fall down. Easy kill going down there, and actually stunning himself as PPD. They're going to go on him right now. Frostbite, PPD in trouble. Forceps himself out of there, but it doesn't matter. Shackle Shot will keep him in place with the right clicks doing the job of Salen.
A beautiful trap. It was a beautiful trap set by the Nature's Prophet, and the Mirana was sitting right there waiting, knowing that they'd try and initiate and pick off on him. And then the second that they went and that Mirana showed up, they were like, oh shit. The Alchemist immediately runs away, the Clockwork is stuck, gets picked up, the Alchemist did not get far enough away, and they just kind of closed the jaws of it in. And now they're putting pressure on this tier 3 tower. This Crobalt is doing nothing to stop the damage coming on it. Do they have a clip?
Can't get there. Their Luna can't get there. They canceled the TP top like S4 did in, of course, the Grand Finals. It was actually the Crystal Maiden with the Frostbite doing the job there. So the tier 3 tower is gone, but the fight is still going to happen. It doesn't matter that they canceled it. Smurf, BKB is up. He's going to use his ultimate. Malphus taking a ton of damage to the face. He is going to fall. And just like that, they take a tier 3 and a kill.
okay.
Yeah, you're right, Spit. You saw that too, buddy. Oh, man.
But not.
I've been wanting to watch it for fucking months.
Gotta buy it. What's up?
Do you know where an extra HDMI cable might be?
What?
Do you know where an extra HDMI cable might be?
I sure do. In a drawer in my bedroom.
Just a mystery.
Just look through the drawers on the left side.
It's only Mark's
Salem
underwear,
keeping
don't
up to the
you?
top, and they'll try to push this out. He's got a hyperstone, so
I only have 8s. It's okay. Make sure you grab them and rub them all over your face while you dig around.
nice. All right.
So we're at the 34-minute mark. It is looking really good for TC. What a good game.
Yep. Can't say it enough. Can't stress it enough. And yeah, they take the tier 3, but they haven't taken the racks yet. Bloody 9 and the rest of JNF are saying, listen, we want to get something done now, and they're doing just that. They're going to try to push into the tier 3 mid lane, but they've got to defend this. Salem can't split push right now. He's got to know that they've got to get back and try to do something here. They'll try to push and trade towers, but I think it's a little too late. Fortification just went. Exorcism goes through and just works on this tier 3 tower, works it down even. Crystal Maiden used that.
They're going to get a racks.
Yeah, they will. They've got to defend this. But nice jackal shot coming through. The power shot as well. It's not enough. Hook shot goes through. This is troublesome. TPs are back. Smurf is here. There's going to be the usage of that blade mail. Eclipse goes through. They take down one. BKB is up for Smurf. Happy Cat already used the Satanic. Smurf has not. That's a big play. They take the melee racks down. Bloody 9 getting shackle shot. The exorcism is done. Now, Salem working on his tier 3 tower. He wants at least that and may get it. He will. Now, Salem maybe in trouble. But look at the damage he's doing to Happy Cat. There's the sprout. Right clicks are there. Happy Cat with those Satanic. Will he fall? He has the Aegis, so at least he has that, but something he didn't want to use. And now he'll regen up, respawn up, and there we go.
I think he'll take it. What a wonderful turn of event. Like, TC had this game in their hands. They just needed to make sure that they rallied when John Friends rallied. John Friends do exactly what they needed to do. They have a mid-game, focused lineup, and they basically did nothing in the mid-game. This was more of a, all or nothing kind of thing. They had to group together, and they had to push, and then they did, and it worked. Perfect timing. TC was not there to respond. The Nature's Prophet decided to keep their split pushing. They have no Raxus down, and now there is one lane down in mid. This game is not over.
It really isn't. It's been going so many different ways throughout the game, and the gold graph is even now. Wow. So after all of that, we're back to 0, and despite the one melee Rax down, everything else is very even. But that one melee Rax makes all the difference in the world. You can see there is a push, coming bottom. Bloody 9, no, you don't want to be there. Shiva's guard is going to go. He has 9 Bloodstone charges, so he'll be back up quickly. He also has buyback. Mind you, Salem, Sprout, TP came in. The right clicks are there. Bloody 9 in trouble. Exorcism might need to go. BKB, there's the freezing field. Look at the damage. Smurf just unloads on the Luna. That's a double kill for him. Maybe a triple in a moment if he can get Ja. No, that's going to go to another buyback from Luna. But what can you do? That's going to be a Rax down, and maybe the game, if they keep pushing here, Smurf is going to town with his Daedalus. The damage is real. There's going to be an unstable nicely onto 2. Smurf still has that Satanic. He's going to need to use it. He can't. He falls down.
I just cannot believe how fast that Luna melted.
Yeah, the frostbite, but it's not over yet. Yule Scepter, nice force staff. TP's unstable onto 2. What an unstable. You've got to be kidding me. PPD triple kill for Bloody 9. Defect is the only one here. Up top, though, they're losing another set of racks. Oh, the split push. What is going on in this game?
They pick up the kills, but not having the presence of mind to realize what was going on with that Nature's Prophet on the top lane. At TC, they were in control of the game right up until that middle lane of Raxes, but then they took control right back, just like that, on that bottom lane push, and then, of course, that beautiful split push by the Nature's Prophet.
It took me a couple months, but
I don't want to predict anything, but this is just so back and forth, just beautiful, beautiful.
I didn't smoke after.
Yeah. And
top-notch Dota, and we're watching it in the Sunday Evening Cup Series. Lots of great plays coming out here.
buyback coming through, arrows flying, hits on Bloody 9, but just barely. The beginnings of a fight is happening right now. Happy Cat, he's got everything up and ready to go. Shadow Fiend is ready to get back into it in 5 seconds. Nice shackle, power shot to finish off Bloody 9, maybe. BKB going. Right-click battle, Eclipse Defect taking a lot of those hits. Sailor trying to fight as well. Here comes Smurf. Here comes the Shadow Fiend. Happy Cat has to back off. Crypt Swarm. No exorcism for 12 seconds. Shackle Shot. Power Shot. Right clicks. Happy Cat is down. No buyback for 90 seconds. Can they turn this? One a hook shot. On to 2. BKB used for Smurf. Malphus. He's got the blade mail, but it's not doing enough. Requiem is going to fly and do some damage. Smurf with the double kill. PPD. He's got his BKB up. Everyone is low right now, including Exiled. 4 staff forward. The Crypt Swarm going. The raises are up. Shackle Shot flying. Shiva's Guard. Yule Scepter to keep him alive. Barely. Smurf about to fall as well. He's down. He buys right back. The game is not done yet. Oh my goodness. What a game we've witnessed so far, and it's still going.
Well, there goes that Nature's Prophet. TP'd immediately to top lane. He will get that top Raxus. There's that X factor, that split push factor that they knew they were going to have to deal with.
Radiant's top barracks.
Bloody Nine, no, what are you doing? Yule Scepter, nice play. They need to get cogs on him. They have to try to take him down. Shiva's Guard will slow him. Sprout not available for 3 seconds. He's silenced up. He can't TP. He's done. Buyback not available.
Shut your. But in the same time,
Good stuff. Still gotta say, like, despite all that back and forth, despite the gold graph being even, look at that. The experience graph just absolutely leaped in the favor of the Radiant team. But you got 2 lanes of Raxus down and you're up against a Nature's Prophet. He's going to be down for another 70 seconds, but they're going to be looking at a Roshan. How long until he revives?
It looks like a minute and about 10 seconds is, well, actually less than a minute now. Maybe. No, I think that's, I'm not sure. I don't know if that's right or not, but it'll respawn in the next minute or so. And with that, that's probably the biggest objective right now. Also defending your Raxus, because Furion has been all over the place, and once Roshan is up, he'll probably be up as well. And then all 5 are going to be up, and who knows what's going to happen. There's no buyback except for the clockwork, and really the next kill, I think, wins. Yule Scepter is up on defect. Silence goes. He's Manta styling out of it, though. Nice Manta just to make sure he can get away in time.
Well, 1 death can be so huge right now.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right. Because, like I said, nobody's got buyback, and 1 hero can change the course of this game. The problem is that top is pushed in, and anytime Salem wants, he can TP in, and he could go for the tier 3 and sets of racks or the tier 4 tower if he wants to. So they've got to know, they've got to take the Roshan, they've got to defend, and maybe take down the Nature's Prophet again, and go from there. But
I'm just surprised at just how much of a net worth lead. Like, this Crobulus has, like, almost a 6,000 gold net worth lead. Look at her. She picked herself up a Desolator. She has a Chrysalis, Shiva's Guard, Bloodstone, Yule Scepter. I feel like she needs to get rid of that Yule Scepter and get a heart.
I actually wouldn't mind.
You know, or at least a Scatty or something to give herself just that little extra touch of durability.
Oh no. So that's an Aegis. Now they've got to deal with Smurf twice, and it's tough to burst him down once, but this is a problem now for John Friends. They're down 2 sets of Raxus compared to the 1 of TC. They've lost the Roshan, they've lost the Aegis, and they still have a tier 2 mid, surprisingly enough. I actually didn't even see that there, but that is something, at least. Wow, this game is still up for grabs here. There's still a 5,000 gold lead for John Friends. There's still a 10,000 experience lead, but really that doesn't matter when you're going up against the lineup that TC has, and they can just kind of fight in a flash and kill your entire team. So I don't know. I can't really make a prediction here, man. This is crazy.
yeah, he must have been a fucking idiot.
And this Alchemist, I mean,
Dude,
he could finish that AC, he could get 1 damage item, and then all of a sudden he becomes a factor that TC has to worry about too.
Oh, unstable.
Like
he can't get it.
Dude,
Stuns himself.
How far away this? Oh, this Luna essentially has hit a wall with her farm.
Yeah.
She really needs that butterfly.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's trying to get there, but she still needs the quarterstaff, and she still needs the, of course, Eagle Song, which is the most important part of that. Quarterstaff's only 900, so she's still a good, I'd say, 2,000 gold away from getting that done, even more than 2,000, really. And walking right down mid is going to be Defect and his
Yeah,
team.
need to go
They
to
throw an
bed.
arrow out just to get any vision and see what's going on. But look at this high ground smoke ink. Unstable's already charging. Defect might get hit up with it. It should go to him. No, it goes to Smurf instead. BKB goes for Happy Cat. They're trying to fight, but everyone is TPing out. BKB is going to be down in a second for the Luna. There's the freezing field. Not enough damage there. 4 staff out coming from PBD. They've got to reset this fight. There is no BKB to go. Moonlight Shadow has been used. Exorcism, now they want to fight. Sailing, BKB, but that's not going to protect from the physical damage. Unstable, going on exile. They're going to lose their Crystal Maiden, it looks like. No buyback for him. They want to keep going. TP is up. They can't take him down. Sailing, trying to get out as well. No, the Yules stepped up.
There's the Yules!
The Yules! You were talking about it. It comes in super handy. That's double kill material for Bloody Nine. No buyback again for the Nature's Prophet. But down bottom, they're pushing in. They've got to defend this. Here we go. Jaws here, but he is alone. He does have that Necro Book. He's got Venomous Gale if necessary.
What a squandered opportunity! That was a beautiful Moonlight Shadow by Defect, and they essentially blew it. How they lost the Crystal Maiden and the Nature's Prophet there, despite having such a great Moonlight Shadow to get themselves out of there, reset the situation. It's almost criminal.
Oh, Defect is going to get out alive.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Oh, man.
Mirana could have essentially almost saved an absolute disaster with that beautiful smoke gank, and instead they ended up paying time anyway, and John Friend still with lots of life, fight being 2 Raxes down against a Nature's Prophet.
But they can't push because they have 2 sets of racks down. That's the problem. They can't push into a tier 3 or a set of racks just because if they leave their base, there's potential for any other hero in the game to come out and just go ahead and take them down, take the Raxes or the towers down. Now mid, Smurf trying to fight on PPD. They decide against it as everyone is pretty much here. Coming out for JNF except for down bottom. There's the Venomous Gale, excuse me, the Death Prophet's ultimate. They blow up the CM. Now Smurf's trying to TP out. Oh, again!
Oh, no!
Again, the Yules.
Disaster!
BKB. He's got an Aegis at least, but the Death Prophet ultimate doesn't care about that BKB again. Oh no, Smurf is in trouble. He's got no BKB this time. He's done. He does have buyback, mind you. Salen is going to split push bottom. They're going to have to defend again, it looks like, as TPing into the base was Nature's Prophet. He decides against it. He's going down.
Yeah, Nature's Prophet is doing what he has to do right now. He needs to get into that base, and he needs to put pressure on the back end, because they essentially were going to lose this game. Well, actually, he actually did not have to do this.
BKB's
They
going to
did
go.
have a buyback on the Shadow Fiend. If he
TP out.
dies here, this will be a disaster. Okay, good.
They got so many kills. They got Smurf, but they couldn't get anything out of it. They lost to tier 4 even. They lost to tier 4.
They still got one more to go, but yet another victory for John, friends. I mean, let's look at this graph. Oh, I guess even a 10k gold lead at this point in the game isn't going to be that ridiculous. But the experience lead is really telling. We're at 20,000 experience lead in the favor of John, friends. And when you get to that late in the levels and everybody's that much of a level advantage, those stats add up.
It does, but I think I don't know, because I feel like one wrong move that John Friends make and this game is over, and they've got to know it as well. You talked about the AC being done for the Alchemist. He's almost there. He just needs a couple more items, including the Hyperstone and obviously the Plate Mail. So, or not the Plate Mail, he's got the Plate Mail, so he just needs the Hyperstone, the Recipe, and then the Chainmail as well. Hook shot in from Alphys. He catches out again the Wind Ranger, but Unstable's flying through. She already Wind Ran. She is in trouble. She will fall. And no buyback for her. But top lane, here we go. Another push coming through. And this
they
is what
need
I'm
to get
talking
back and defend from Salen.
Now
Salen, they got the Mirana down here. Look at this Crobulus. Oh my god! She's a right-click monster, and she's a Crobulus. Watch this. Bam!
Yep.
Mirana just basically explodes. What's she gonna do? I feel like she's made such good use of that Yule Scepter of Divinity. I almost feel like she shouldn't sell it, but you gotta sell it, right?
No, I don't think so. Just because you can catch people out like that, you have to keep that Yule Scepter. Sell something else. I don't know. Sell anything. But if you're going to sell anything, I think she's okay where she is. She may not need she may not need a Heart of Trask. I don't think she should.
No, screw Hart. I was thinking Scatty.
Scatty? No, I don't think in this game. If anything, I think Hart just to make her tank. Yeah, maybe Scatty, but
Now here it comes. This is the moment.
yeah, the tier
She's
4.
getting up in their face. She wants to take down these tier 4 Raxes. Nature's Prophet TP's into the base to try and give a presence, but essentially all that really does is take him, their top farmer in the game, out of the fight.
And he's so low too. He's dying to Poison Sting, and he will die to Poison Sting. He's got to buy back. Now Happy Cat falls. So will Malphus. Some big misplays from them. Only one buyback out of those 2 heroes, and it's not the Luna. That's unfortunate to have them go down there. Eul Scepter, Bloody Knight has got to TP, but arrows should come out, or Frostbite or something. No! Shackle shot was too late. No. One on Shackle. Yeah.
I thought for a second there that the Radiant had it. I thought they had it. When the second that Prophet TP'd down, I thought that maybe that they would have been able to you basically have a 4-on-4 with a Venomancer taken out of the equation for the Radiant and a Nature's Prophet, one of their top farmers, taken out of the equation. Well, let's look at their net worth. Nature's Prophet, 18,000 gold taken out for the Dire against 11,000 gold taken out for the Radiant. And John Friends kind of blew it. A couple people ended up backing out, and that left the Luna basically all by herself fighting everybody. She just wasn't on the same page as everybody else, I guess.
But we're not done yet. They actually backed off. The Luna wasn't up for 16 seconds, and they decided to say, no, we don't want to push into that. Even without the Luna, Exorcism was up, but is that really enough to push you back? It looks like it is. I guess
I think, in my opinion, this Nature's Prophet needs to sell that scepter and get herself like either a butterfly or a Scatty or just something big, because she's turned into their best right clicks, right? She's doing 360 damage per right click. She has a Daedalus for those crits. She doesn't really have the attack speed. Maybe she could get rid of that Shiva's guard.
That wouldn't be bad. Yeah, maybe the Shivas, actually. But it does give them a lot of armor, which is really nice because the presence of the Dark Lord is up. But then again, you're getting an AC on the Alchemist anyways, so... But he actually... Where did that money go?
He still has not finished that AC? Are you kidding me?
It's actually on the Courier, but the Courier's dead! When did the Courier die? Oh, no. The Courier died. Wow. Well...
Spit, Jess is just watching contently, and she's doing it just for you.
Oh, wow. Hookshot and Malphus. Force-sapped out, but he falls quickly. Smurf doesn't use his BKB charge. A big misplay there. He's down, but now do they want to fight? Look at Malphus, or excuse me, Salin. He's going for that tier 3 tower. TP out. They have nothing to stun him with. They're just going to try to right-click and Venomous scale him down. Meanwhile, Alchemist at least picks up the Crystal Maiden again. This game is starting to get into the waning moments here, and the drama has fallen off. It seems like maybe not. Smurf in trouble. He's gonna fall. No buyback for him. That is a big misplay. He's down for 100 seconds. He does have buyback. Excuse me. I'm sorry. He can buy back. Okay, I overstated that a little bit.
What is okay? Yeah, they're good. They got the Shadow Fiend buys back. The Nature's Prophet is still up.
No glyph. Eclipse is going out. The fight is happening. Here we go. BKB is up. Clavulus low. Death Prophet taking a lot of damage. Needs to get that exorcism. Look at how she's ring around the well. That's how it ends. Ring around the well. Unbelievable.
What a fucking game. My God.
We've witnessed a great one here. That was fantastic. I'll admit it's a bit anticlimactic, but what a way to go out. And in the end, John Friends, they take the game on the back of Bloody Nine, a very farmed Death Prophet. Mad, what are your thoughts, man?
Few. There were a few Sunday Evening Cup Series games 2 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, or however long it was. It was so ancient. That matched up to games like these. And it's awesome to see. It's awesome to see games like these. John Friends versus TC, they put on a show. I enjoyed it. That was fucking awesome. Congrats to John Friends. I thought they were done. There was at least 3 or 4 different times in that game that I thought they were cooked. I thought their goose might have been cooked. And they just kept swinging the pendulum back the other way. Awesome finale. A good night. I want to do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Love having you. It was a lot of fun. I myself had a great time. So thank you for joining us, Matt. Before you head out of here, do you have any shout-outs or anything?
Yeah, shout out to Syndron, shout out to Blitz, Mandarang, Taku the Fat Panda Commander, of course. Shout out to Spitwad for sending me a message on Facebook to, make good on my deal with the Shoutcast SECS again. This was fun. We really enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
I did.
I had a great time.
Oh,
Fuck yeah.
I enjoyed it as well, but that's not what that matters. That what matters is that everyone else in chat had a good time. So thanks for joining us, guys. Once again, my name is Maut. We're gonna head out of here now. We should be back next Sunday. At least I should be. I don't know what the schedule for everyone else is, for all the other casters. Maybe I'm not gonna be back. I don't know. Who knows what's going on with me? But for right now, it's been a pleasure casting for you guys. Take it easy, everybody.
Hasta luego.